Okay, after a week without a GPU, we're back. I had my GPU decide it was old and tired and it gave up the ghost. So we didn't have a stream last week. Sorry about that.
What are we back? What?
Roll initiative.
Cast Finger of Death.
I don't have to listen to you, Apple. You're not the DM.
Yeah, we just had a game last night that was very interesting.
He's going to kill you. You specifically.
Next week. That's the key. Next week.
Here's the thing. He has tried for years and hasn't been successful yet.
But now he is the DM.
And we are in the Sunday game.
And Apo, just so you know, here's a little taste of
my
what you've been
God.
treating us to the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, we've been hearing you.
Frickin' slurping you for the last 10 minutes. Oh, no, not a slurp off.
Welcome
put them on
the
mute.
Dungeons and Dragons ASMR video.
Oh, that is some good freaking tea. Oh god, I nailed this. Damn.
Alright, get it out of your systems.
Yep.
Okay, here we are, back on our Waterdeep game. We've had quite a session in between. There's been some RP going on while my computer was down, and some things occurred behind the scenes. Basically, the timeline is as follows. Right after they went to Castile's house and got the information from him regarding these devils that got sent to the windmill, he gave them a whole bunch of information that was rather key on everything. And he said that the windmill was the way to go. Meanwhile, an alternate path was Laeral, Silverhand, was giving Cassian information that he needed to go to a, quote, cellar that was in the area of where he was in this alley. And there were a lot of confusing things going on. So, first of all, Epiphany, right after Castile's visit, decided to go turn in a quest that he had. He went to his quest manager, we'll call it, and this person gave him a bunch of information and some rewards that we'll be talking about in a little bit. Some things went on there that he will be handling. Then the next morning, Epiphany joined Cassian and Nocari as they went to Castle Waterdeep to meet with Laeral Silverhand with the intent of subtly trying to find out if she was the one that had actually been in the alley. And they got several pieces of very key information on that. So they will be coming back to the inn with information about what they gathered at the castle. So we take up back about noon in the Troll Skull Alley Inn as everybody gathers back from their various things that they're doing. Also during the morning, the shepherd will have returned the bones which Castile turned over to them. He will return them back to the Castellanter Mausoleum in City of the Dead. So he went there, turned those items in, and now everybody has gathered back to find out what all went on. Varys and Rellian weren't directly involved. They were doing some shopping and things, but they are now gathering to find out what the others found out. So I turn it over to the crew. Let's start with Epiphany. What does Epiphany want to say about his thing yesterday afternoon and what went on?
So we're all back together.
Sounds like it.
Okay. So Epiphany, comes in with, presumably the Nocari and Cash, and then there's friend Rellian.
Rillian would look up from where he's apparently sketching and taking down notes in a notebook with one hand while holding a small orange bead with the other. He hastily closes the notebook and puts the bead in his pouch and says, "What's up? What can I do for you, my monstrous chum?"
And they trudge over and they reach into their sleeve, or not really their sleeve, but just into the void beneath the cloak. It's not a tarp anymore;
God.
it's a fancy cloak.
You mean it's not going for its stomach?
Oh God.
No,
You've given him an idea.
and we understand that you have been seeking items of magical import. We wish
It is it is my holy mission.
We wished to express our appreciation for helping teach us about the world for the past year and a half. And they pull out a small case that's about 1.5 feet, 2 feet long, something like that. And they set it in front of Relian and push it forward.
Oh, Epi, I didn't get you anything. You know what? Next time I see Volo, you and me will lead him down a dark alley. What do you say?
Poor Volo. Volo will never write his adventurer's guide.
Oh, Epi, but Relian will.
The last one is going to be the most interesting.
The one with
Oh,
the
boy.
epilogue that was not written by Volo, and no one knows who wrote it. But yeah, Relian will tenderly open the case.
So he opens it up, and you know, it's just a very simple case. But inside is he would probably recognize a wand, a very straight, narrow, flexible wand.
Relian will pick it up and give it a cursory glance, and seems to be appraising it. Can I roll an Arcana to see if I recognize what kind of wand of what make it is?
Of course.
All these rolls that I've been making for Relian about stuff he should know about, but he doesn't. Let's see if this one's
Could just ask Epiphany.
okay.
That too.
Oh, thank God.
I mean,
Thank
you really want him to take the easy way out?
That's
Thank you. Finally, Relian knows something he should know.
Yeah, so he would recognize that it is a wand of conducting.
I'm actually not familiar OOC about that one.
I'll send you the details if I can find you. With this wand, the caster is able to create beautiful orchestral music while waving it around like a conductor. The music from the wand can be heard up to 60 feet away. When the caster stops waving their wand, the music ends. It has 3 charges, which are recharged daily at dawn. When the caster has used the last charge, there is a chance the wand could spontaneously crumple into dust while playing a mournful note from a tuba.
So two charges a day minimum. Got it. Maximum, I mean.
We believe that you would enjoy this more than some of the alternative items that we had access to.
He'll clutch it to his chest and say, "Oh, Epi, I will cherish this forever." He's going to give him a small, quick hug because he knows Epi doesn't like prolonged physical contact.
Yeah,
Then he'll
stiffs up a bit.
Then he'll quickly turn around, point the wand at Cassian, and goes, "Avada Kedavra!"
And out of the wand, as he's waving it, comes this full symphony orchestra that drowns out any talk for a moment.
If Epiphany establishes a mental connection with Relian and says, "You understood what we were going to request of you," and then he smiles at Cassian.
I'm just trying to create like a bubble of loud music
Cassian
around
is-
Cassian's head right now.
Cassian is just raising his brow at Epiphany's smile.
Oh my god.
I'm just creating a bubble of loud music around Cassian's head right now.
And so then she goes to take a seat.
I didn't want to break character, but when you gave the description of that wand, I instantly pictured Relian at some point doing some sort of weird magic casting illusionary scene from Shrek. I think it was like Shrek 2 or 3 with just that, or like some sort of weird Ride of the Valkyries.
In 7 months, when we're dealing with a devil lord and he whips that out to entertain him, you're gonna be happy I got it.
Now I can summon images and sounds.
Oh no!
With a flick of the wrist, Relian
It's
will
all in the
banish the
flick of the
sound.
wand.
Yep.
Bibbidi-boppity-boo.
One hand for the illusion, one hand for the conducting.
But with a flick of the wrist, Relian will end the music with a flourish and carefully slide the wand into his the sleeve of his cloak. It says, "I will cherish this forever. Thank you, little bro." Oh, and I actually meant to talk to you about this before the stream, and I'm very sorry, Madame DM. But while we were out shopping, since Relian did not find the mystical items he was so yearning for, what he would actually do would be to go on the lookout for some healing potions. Since I've got plenty of money, would it be possible for me to have bought a few of those?
Yes, you can roll up to 1d6 worth of potions that you find.
All right.
And of course, depending on the level, the cost. I don't know what level are you planning. The +4, the +2s, the +4s, or the +8s.
I looked it up. The average healing potion that I think heals 2d6, I think, is 50 gold.
2d4 plus 2 is the lowest.
2d4 plus 2.
And 4d4 plus 4 is the middle, and 8d4 plus 8 is the top.
It doesn't really matter. I got the money for it. So let's see how many I was actually able to find. 2. Okay. Well, in that case, good enough for me. He'll actually reach into his cloak and say, "Well, you know what, Epi? I actually do have something for you." And he'll pull out a thin red vial, and he'll give it to Epi and says, "This is for emergencies."
Very good.
Thank you.
And on the day before Day of Wonders parade, they have exchanged gifts. Starting a new tradition on the Day of Wonders. You exchange wondrous gifts.
It's 2d4 plus 4, right?
Yeah, I thought it was 2d4 plus 2.
And it was then, in Waterdeep, they say, that Epiphany's heart grew 3 sizes that day.
And he promptly died of the giant heart syndrome.
Not possible.
He has 2 hearts.
You think there's a heart.
Okay, so Epiphany has finished. Does he have any information he wants to share from turning in his quest? Anything he gathered from that he needs to relay to the others?
I tried to reread it, but I didn't have time. Yeah, I don't believe so.
Most of it was kind of personal backstory information.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They're fine saving that for later.
Right. And so we move on. The following morning, Epiphany then went with Nocari and Cassian to the castle. Who wants to report about your findings? Since Nocari was doing most of the talking with Laeral, probably she would relate most of their findings on that. So what does she have to relate?
Pretty much she will just tell once once they were not out in public but within the confines of the group itself, let them know about the fact that it is confirmed that the cellar Cassian went to is potentially a trap, and pretty much I think that was mostly it. Most of it had been about the
Why don't
celebration
you do
and
it?
the clock.
Why don't you do it in character instead of just listing it out of character?
I can't. I'm trying to remember what I remember out of character, so I can do that. Sorry.
Can I remember? Can I do it?
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead,
Yeah,
Cassian.
go for it.
Well, we have one thing confirmed. The lady Silverhand that I met in the alleyway that night was not the real Open Lord. Whoever they are, they want to use us to get the stone.
La gasp!
Use us specifically.
Yes, and yes, possibly because we have the best chances. I'm not 100% certain, but that's my best guess.
So just for clarification's sake, these people actually seem, well, the person who was disguised as the Open Lord, which is naughty by the way, actually seemed to be sure where the stone was, or did it seem like that she was just trying to draw you somewhere?
They seem rather with that first meeting and the letter they gave me the next day. They seem rather certain that the best I can tell is that they seem rather certain that the stone is there. Else why lure us into what I can only assume is a trap?
Because we're after the same thing they are, and they want us out of the way.
Yes, but who knows what exactly their plan is? Maybe they want to maybe it is a trap. Maybe they just want to use us to get the stone, and that'll be the end of it. And if we do find out their scheme, they may even try to convince us to let them have their way. I'm not entirely sure, but going so far as to create an elaborate scheme while using such a bold move as masquerading as a high-level government official seems too much for just the likes of us.
Maybe they thought that we wouldn't question it if it was the Open Lord herself.
Yes, well, we did.
Which was a good thing.
Well, there's also another way to look at this. If this is indeed just a trap to try and get us out of the way, out of the picture, out of the scenario, as it were, they could just send someone to slit our throats, but instead they're doing this whole hullabaloo. Whether we like it or not, we've got a lot of enemies, or at least a lot of players stacked against us in this grand chess game. I hate chess. I've always preferred checkers, but we could spring the trap. If nothing else, it'll tell us which set of enemies this is.
Yes, I was thinking the same. If we know that we're walking into is a trap, it'll lose its edge. And if we figure out what the trap is, we can negate it in its entirety.
The thing.
Plus, if the stone is at the cellar, it'll be going to the windmill and not finding it there would just be a wild goose chase. It'll waste time.
You mean if, say, if the stone is currently at the cellar, but it's going to make its way to the windmill. If we go to the windmill first and we don't find it there, we'll just think both leads are dead ends anyway.
I'm just saying we should just go to the cellar first.
Either way, from how it seems to be developing, both roads lead to the stone, depending on where it is located. We can either chance one and lose the other, or vice versa. It is not an easy choice to make. One is obviously a trap of some notoriety, but we have, I guess, cut back a little bit of the trap itself. I feel that this one might be attempting more of a public humiliation. For if we turn around and go, well, the open lord has given us permission to do such a thing, and she came out going, I never said such a thing, then egg on her face, egg on ours. Then we get in more trouble. Bringing her into this, we've at least made her aware that someone is attempting to pose as her, and thus
And if-
gain ourselves a powerful ally in the process.
And if we do help them with uncovering this whole scheme and putting the imposter to justice, we'll earn her favor.
Well, make no mistake, one way or another, the cellar's clearly a trap. Either the stone is there, and they want to use us to get to it and then take it from us, or the stone isn't there, and they're going to try to do us in. Either way, it's a trap, so if we do decide to go there, we'd best be prepared to spring it one way or another.
And turn it against them.
It seems that we have a high-risk, high-reward situation and a more of an investigation situation. If we go to the cellar, it seems quite a bit more dangerous. At least now we know for a fact that there is a trap. But even if we don't find the stone, we can find leads on whoever it may be. Find leads on whoever is impersonating the Open Lord. And in doing so, like Cassian said, I said it right this time. Like Cassian said, gain favor by doing so, which can help us in other endeavors. Whereas going to the windmill seems more focused around the Castellanters, which do need more investigating, but I don't think the long-term benefits could possibly be quite as good.
Well, from what I've heard, the Castellanters only have a minor interest in the windmill. It's mostly run by, shall we say, shady individuals. So make no mistake, Little Boy Blue, both of them are high-risk situations. We either go to the cellar, and it's a trap, we know that for a fact, or we go to the windmill and we risk involving ourselves with a lot, and I mean a lot of criminal activity and possibly devils.
Just to elaborate, the cellar itself may not be a trap, but at some point, if this imposter becomes wise to the fact that we know they are an imposter, they'll bring some sort of...
Cassian, wake up and smell the black brew. It's a trap.
Hold.
And I will...
Hold. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
They went so far as...
To clarify on your words, Relian, it's not a possibility of devils. It is a guarantee.
But that was a point. That was an interesting point, however. If we do not spring the trap, then they will know that we were aware it was a trap. And then
This
sounds like that. Do they know that we know that they know that we know?
I was about
Currently, we are aware of the trap, so we can prepare for it. But if we do not spring the trap, and then they figure out that we did not, that we had discovered this deception, we will be at a disadvantage the next time they attempt it.
Frankly, I'm casting my vote out now. I'm for the cellar, personally. One, it'll save us a shorter trip. It might get us to the stone earlier. And two, I personally would like to spring this trap to know exactly who the set of enemies we currently have are the boldest to act against us first.
Agreed.
So, we know that it's a trap, but we can't let whoever set the trap know that we know that it's a trap. Otherwise, they'll know that we know that they know we're.
It may not be that the people in the cellar are aware that this is a trap. It could just be a trap of the person's making by sending us down there into what they assume is a meat grinder.
It's very simple, Blue. Listen, we're going to a trap that someone who is a trap expert has prepared, but we can't let them know it's a trap until we've sprung the trap and turned the trap against them, possibly setting up our own trap in the future to trap.
I think the last part of
a lot
that
of
again.
claptrap.
Cassian and Varys's brains are smoking right now.
Well, I understood everything he said up until trap.
We will cast our vote for the cellar on the condition that should we find the person who set the trap, we would like to eat them.
Well, maybe question them first, but after the question,
We
Consume.
if
He hasn't had
I
his breakfast yet,
will-
I'm sorry.
I will neither agree nor disagree with that agreement, Epiphany, but if they prove to be uncooperative, you can gnaw on them.
Would let you have an arm at least.
This is acceptable.
Or a leg. A
At
leg
least
would be
part of the mental.
Arms are less essential for transporting them.
exactly.
Besides, if you
So-
only eat one body part at a time, it might convince them to give you some answers.
I will agree with going to the cellar, if anything, to help out the Open Lord. But I will say this on the condition that we do go after the Castellanters after this. They are a greater threat than I had originally realized, and this is not based on my vendetta.
I'm inclined to agree with you
Very
on that
much so.
assessment as well. However, given what we know and what we don't know, it's a matter of where do we go first.
Then in the
Cellar.
case
Continue.
in case that I happen to perish before my mission is complete, I will let you all know about the Castellanters. The cult is a reality. It is not just any kind of death cult or a cult that worships any kind of devil. It is the devil, the cult of Asmodeus.
I don't
know who that is.
He is the Lord. He is the Lord of the Nine Hells.
Oh, fun.
Religion roll.
Sure.
I want to see if Cassian knows.
Rellian would already know this because he's a priest. Yay.
Same with the shepherd.
Yep, Cassian has heard of Asmodeus. It's the kind of thing that's whispered behind the back of hands and not said out loud or very loudly. What Epiphany was going into agony there. What all was going on with Epiphany while this was happening?
Epiphany seems to just have like a momentary like they were acting a little strange before when talking about eating people, but like when Asmodeus is mentioned, they just like they fizzed out for a moment.
So
Let's put it this way, Blue. As my brother in the cloth kind of said, King of Hell, Lord of the Devils. Here's another way to put it. He's the guy who was put on trial by all the gods in heaven and then tricked them into letting him go.
Well, shit.
So I will agree in aiding the Open Lord. As I said, if only that we go after the Castellanters afterwards. If we show her that we can be trusted, hopefully she will be able to help us in turn with the Castellanters.
Tit for tat.
I agree. This shall be the step one in a many-step process then.
I'm amenable to that. I would much like to see this cult disbanded, destroyed, dismembered. Does some...
Annihilate it.
Sure.
Resolved. We'll go with that.
So what will your timing be? What do you want to do? How do you want to prepare before you set out for the cellar, since it seems like you've come to an accord that you want to head for the cellar and see what all is going on there?
Rellian actually will say this. Okay, so we're going to the cellar. We need a plan. So they approached Cash, so he's definitely got to be in plain view. And I doubt they're going to expect him to come alone, so he's got to have a minimum of at least 2 of us with him. Now, I've got a spell. I've been looking forward to using it, actually. I can render us, a select few of us, completely invisible. However, once we attack, that invisibility fades. So we'd have to follow at a short distance behind him. I can either cast it on 2 of us and save one of my big attack spells for a possible encounter, or I can cast it on 3 of us for a bigger surprise, but then my big guns are kind of exhausted for the day. I will throw that out there and leave the rest of the planning to you guys.
I would rather you at your best than have you be 2 beacons.
Yes. You alone. You alone would be a big surprise, especially if you threw a fireball at them.
I don't know that spell. I don't have anything that can cast fireball. Who told you I have something that can cast fireball?
Regardless, this trap is likely meant for all of us, not just for Cassian. So it is best that we come at our full strength, rather than relying on tricks and then having one or more of us weakened in a bigger fight.
Very much so.
I'll only cast it on me.
I am already fairly good at sneaking, and I can just turn myself into a fly, or like a cockroach, or a rat, or something like that.
Do not say you can turn yourself into a cockroach in front of Epi.
A great big giant tongue comes out and licks around his face and withdraws.
Yeah, well, see, here's the thing. Like when they do that, it's not like a forked tongue. It's like a 4-pronged tongue, and it like curls around the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Epi can shapeshift, so he could probably go into a slightly less assuming form. Varys, little boy blue, you apparently have a way to get around undetected, and I can turn myself invisible, so if Varys and I sneak behind you guys, and the 4 of you go in as unassuming as you could, that could be an interesting plan of attack.
We are not taking our dress. We value it too highly.
For those of you who missed it, the week before when we did broadcast, he was dressed up. He put on an illusion to make himself look like a drow female, so that he would get the cooperation of the drow male that they were going to visit.
He was quite smitten.
I also do have an ability that will allow me to locate any sort of traps in a radius around me, but I can only use it once before taking a nap.
Okay, once a day. Okay, good.
Well, when we get there, you best use it.
All right, so what will your timing be about heading off? Are you going to pick your stuff up and head off now? You have something to do? What are we doing?
Is this same day as talking to Castillo?
No. This is noon of the following day.
Okay, so then that means we've had a long rest since then.
And the
Yeah,
Day
so
of Wonders...
everyone's at full health.
Yes, and the Day of Wonders parade is tomorrow at about noon.
I am... Lee, I am okay with going today.
So...
Yeah, Cash.
Do we need to wait for the cover of dark or anything cheesy like that, or can we...
No,
I'd say
let us
dusk.
Do it. Let us simply do it.
Also, be
do the
aware,
fire
just Lee, obviously you're going into a cellar. You are going into the dark. I don't think daylight has much of an effect.
Also, Please, for the love of God, can we just go kill something?
Right?
Are you a little starved for death?
He wants blood.
Like
Murder,
shooting
murder,
y'all
kill,
on
kill,
the
murder,
Saturday Guild. Oh, good, I finally get to hit something.
To the great adventure.
All right, then. So you gather up any preparations you're doing, or shall we head out for the cellar?
Rell's bringing all of his toys, but other than that, yeah, he's ready to go.
Cassian has all of his knives.
This one.
He got them all back from
this one,
the counter
this one.
lady.
Yeah. Varys has his trident whip. He will stop by his Embrick and Abby's house real quick, to purchase a length of chain and some manacles, just in case.
Okay.
Well, does he need to purchase them?
I will say that he has to repay the cost of their steel, so half price.
Okay, that is more acceptable. So I will add that to my inventory.
Since you are their son, you would not be expected to pay retail.
Thanks, Dads.
He doesn't know one of your names.
Abby and Embrick.
Yeah, he did real well this week. He studied up.
I
All
didn't
right.
even have to look at the character sheet. I just remembered.
Hey, you're a good
It's
son.
about time.
It only took you 19 years.
Ouch. Guys, come on. Be nice.
I probably got to get some tokens
It's a
off
good
this
running
map,
joke,
because
Trish.
this is the map that we were using. So let me get Laeral off and a few things here. This is everybody dragged their tokens on. This is the alley that Cassian was in when he met Laeral and found out that Fenris was apparently dead. So just drag yourself on here.
Oh, okay.
Relian would ask Cassian to let both Relian and Varys know when they're about like 20 minutes away from the cellar.
Varys would also be asking Cassian to go over again everything, like all of the information he found at the cellar and with this kid he found.
Well, all right. So the information about the cellar is that it is purportedly owned by the Xanathar Guild. The child that he met here and was given the message from the imposter to is a tiefling
Yes.
named Squidly, and Cassian will note that he has a suspicion about who this imposter is, because the kid the day after meeting him the first time had a new hat that looked very familiar.
And Squidly has been seen around proudly wearing this hat. He's never seen without it now. And it is an enormously wide-brimmed, hugely wide-brimmed purple hat.
Did you say what type of hat it was, where it's common?
It is not exactly a common hat. It is rather dramatic and unusual. I would almost say it's like
Definitely showy.
Yes, very showy. It has feathers in it, very dramatic. And it looks to be the kind of hat that someone that likes to be the center of attention might wear.
Mm.
And so all of you, who are we missing on here? Somebody's missing. Epiphany's missing. Where's Epiphany?
We are currently hidden. We are so good at this.
There we go. We got Epiphany. All right, so
11.
right around the corner
Oh,
here
right.
was where Cassian went to find Fenris. The body will have been cleared away by now. Guards will have come and cleared it away, but there is a residue of blood in that area if any further research is done. Exactly where the cellar is, you're not quite sure. You just know that from the information Cassian got, the cellar is not far from Fenris's house. There are shops in the area. There's a kind of a miscellaneous shop here right next door to Fenris's house that sells just sundries and this type of thing, and there's various stuff. There's also some residue on the street of spoiled apples and things and a few pieces of board and splinters where the apple cart upset when Squidly was riding it down the slope. The alleyway slopes upward this way as you go forward. You're climbing a slight rise.
I recall that I didn't say that Cassian destroyed the note detailing the location of the cellar. So I think he'd have kept it. Where did the letter say the cellar was located?
I don't know that it's specified. It said it was nearby. Let me see. I think I've got the handout still on here. All I got to do is find it. Yeah, it's open to everybody. You can see the note there, so you can read it.
What's it called?
It should be up on your screen. Are you able to see it on the screen?
No.
Interesting.
Not on the screen.
Okay.
Is it Laeral?
Let me try another.
No, that's the other one.
Laeral's note is the only one I've got. Wasn't that the one that you're talking about? Was Laeral's?
No, that's the one that Squidly delivered to him.
Okay, I don't know if I've still got the other one then. Do you have it? It might have been in text on chat or something, because I don't seem to have. Yeah, I don't have it. Nope.
Yeah, I don't remember. I can't find it.
We'll just have to do a little hunting.
Basically, however, there are people on the street walking up and down. The street is not vacant, so you would find people coming and going. There's a couple of little small stalls on the street, including an apple seller who probably was the one that Squidly stole the cart from yesterday, or day before yesterday, whichever it was, but nevertheless.
Cassian will, where's the cellar?
We don't know.
You
We
don't
have to find
know.
it.
Oh.
There are people on the street, and apparently from the way information was given, it is not unknown where this is.
I'm gonna look in the alleyway that the shepherd is currently at. Can I roll perception to see if I see anything?
You see a small alleyway that gets very narrow and is a dead end with some boxes and things, crates that are stored for various shopkeepers in the area. You are sort of in the garbage can and storage area for one of the two shops next to you.
But yeah, I'm looking to see if I can find this hidden cellar in this alley.
Not in this particular alley, no.
Then I move onward. Do I see something here in this besides the boxes, obviously?
You see the remnants of boxes that were stacked up the other day to block Cassian's way. Would Cassian inform him of what this alleyway is?
Yes, that he'd tell him that just around the corner, just around the corner is where is the door to Fenris's house. It'll have been cleaned by now.
What about the house next to it?
This house right here is.
Oh, I meant this house, the one that we can see that is open, kind of.
You can go see what's in there.
Cassian, sorry, you don't actually know where the cellar is?
All she told me is that it's nearby. Or they.
Knock, knock, knock.
A young hobbit woman with a baker's apron on comes to the door and opens it, and there is a sign that hangs outside. It shows a picture of a pie, it looks like, but it says, and I've forgotten her name. It's a hobbit name, but I've forgotten.
Miss Ruth, you can't say hobbit. You have to say halfling. You can't say hobbit.
I'm sorry, Mr. Tolkien. I apologize.
We'll get sued by the Tolkien estate.
Yes, I'm very sorry. I'm too much of a Tolkien fan, and it comes out first. But anyway, I've read all the books, bought all the books about 6 times because my family keeps taking them from me. So I've paid you many times over for this. But anyway, halfling. A halfling comes to it, and this sign that's hanging outside this door, I believe her name is Cherry, and it's Cherry's Meat Pies on the sign.
Did she open the door or anything?
Yes, and she opens it and looks kind of confused. There is a counter inside. She has basically stepped out from behind the counter and come and open what is a shop door. And it was open. It has a little bell on it that would tinkle, and this sign out front of it. And she goes, "Yes, come in. I'm open. What can I do for you? I've got fresh meat pies."
I had heard, and I would like to purchase one. How much are they?
Oh, they're only 2 pence a piece. They're small. Take several.
That would be
Yes.
2 coppers.
Yes.
How many do we have? I'll pay for 6, 1 for each of us. And then as soon as she comes back, I would actually ask her a question.
Oh, here you go, sir. I'm so happy to have come into the meats at this time of year, this late in the summer or going into fall. It gets harder and harder to find the meats, and I'm so happy they were able to deliver it to me. They freshly baked. Here they are, and you can smell this steaming smell of meat coming out of it.
I'll take the pies and bow my head to the halfling woman. I also have a question, if you don't mind. This is going to be a wonderful snack for me and my compatriots. However, we're here on a specific duty. We're here investigating relatively shady folk, people who try to hide or disappear. You wouldn't happen to know of anything like...
You're talking about my neighbor. I understand he was killed by some of those people he associates with the other day.
Yeah, possibly. We're looking for any whereabouts of where they may have ran off into a different building, perhaps a cellar.
Oh, well, they very possibly, since I understand there's things that go on. I mean, we try to stay out of it. It's supposed to be city guard territory. They're not supposed to go down there, but everybody in the neighborhood knows people just go down there all the time willy-nilly. Obviously paid the guards off. You know how the guards are. You drop them a few gold and they turn their back, but it's supposed to be guard entrance to the sewers. Other people aren't supposed to go in there. It's supposed to be locked, but somehow other people just always get in there. I just don't understand it.
Where is this entrance?
Oh, down at the end of the alley, down to the west end of the alley. You can see the kiosk down there where you can enter.
Thank you very much. You've been very helpful.
Oh,
Thank you
be
again.
very
for
careful,
the
though.
pies.
It's just, the people that bribe the guards and do things where they're terrible people. Someone of your quality, Shepherd, you really need to be careful down there. We can't stand to lose you,
Don't worry. Some of my compatriots are very well armed. And again, I thank you, and I'll take the pies and I'll leave.
And she's still talking all the neighborhood gossip as you walk out. She just seems to go on for hours.
Then, as soon as I'm out of the way of her earshot, I'll motion for the others to go to the west end of the alley. Down this way.
And when you get down to the end of
Cassian wants his pie.
Oh, yep, fine, take your pie. I'll hand out the pies as well if anyone wants their pie.
Oh, you bought me lunch. Thank you.
When you get close to the end of the alley, you can see a little block house, been made out of blocks, and it's a standalone, looks like a little tiny building with a door on the side, and you're assuming that it's an entrance down into something because it's not big enough to be a real building.
Mm-hmm. I'll also let the others know that apparently the cellar is not some kind of hidden entryway or anything. Apparently guards are meant to be here for an entry for possibly a safe house of theirs or something.
Specifically, what she said was it was the access to the sewer for the guards. It's supposed
access
to be
to
the
sewers.
Maintenance,
Okay, sorry.
maintenance access to the sewers is what it's intended for.
Then retcon, guards are supposed to patrol there for maintenance or for a maintenance entry to the sewers. So that's likely our cellar.
This imposter said cellar, so I'm doubting that this is where they are, and that they'd be so close to their target.
It is supposed to be manned by guards, and apparently people pay off the guards to look away.
And Madam DM,
Yeah.
I do recall OOC Lee that the note said that the cellar was south.
I don't know if I said it wrong or whatever, but technically, let's call it southwest or something, but it's down at the end of this street.
Alright.
So, yeah, we keep going towards the west end and go to where the halfling described.
When you come to this door, you see a chain and lock on it. You can give me a perception roll. Stenciled across the metal door that is chained shut on this thing is a sign that reads, "Sewer access. Authorized city personnel only."
I think this might be it.
Apparently I cannot roll. Oh, there we go. 19 for a perception.
And you would notice as you look at this lock that it's a snap. Yes, Cassian. Sometimes I'm using my hands and I can't push the button. Look on the screen and you know what I'm doing. Sometimes it's a padlock that has been swung shut, and but when you look at it very closely, as the shepherd did, he realizes that it has just been swung shut. It has not been snapped.
I carefully take the padlock off then.
And it falls open quite easily.
I'll pocket the padlock as well. So I guess I'll have one padlock in my inventory.
So I did make a quick stop at my dad's house before we left. And he'll go into his pack real quick and just quickly pull out, not entirely, but just enough to show you. I did grab these, and he shows you the chain and manacles and says, I don't know if we'll need them, but I mean, it can't hurt.
That's to be
No.
prepared.
No, it cannot hurt.
You also now have access to a second chain if you want to get it.
Sure.
I'll take hold of the chain.
Get your keister over here.
Now that I think of it, I should have also gotten a pole. Oh well. I'll take out my trident and hold it out in front. I'll hold it by the fork end, but not by like the sharp part. I'll hold it like from the middle with the actual handle out in front of me, so that if there's any like tripwires or such, it will hit the trident instead of me.
And you've opened the door. Has someone opened the door?
Thaumaturgy.
You say. Alright.
The door opens to reveal metal stairs going down into the dark.
I start walking down.
I guess that answers that. I'll follow him.
You walk down metal stairs into a small entryway, very tiny area over at the left of this map, and there is another door that you come to that is clearly the actual access. Through the door, you can clearly hear the sound of dripping water and a stench. You can smell a stench on this as you get in.
Oh, this seems familiar.
Right?
Hey,
Oh.
look, it's memories of our first time, except we're down a person.
Alright, so this is a bit different than I had envisioned, but I still think there might be some profit to be made with the whole stealth thing. What do you think, Blue? You think you and I should do our little parlor tricks?
I mean, I would prefer to hide just by myself. My ability to transform only lasts about an hour and a half.
So what, you want to be the only one incognito? Is that what I'm hearing? You
Why
both
don't
said
you
wanna
both do
hide
what-
by-
Why don't you both do what you need to do?
That's what I
Cassian,
said.
can you...
And he said
Reliant?
I'd rather to hide by himself.
Varys, you can hide by yourself. Reliant, cast invisible on yourself and Epiphany.
Can he do it at a higher or at the same level as just himself? Because again, we don't want him to be depleted.
I can cast the spell twice, but the thing is, hold on, let me double check something.
We will be fine.
because-
Hide, friend Rillian.
Cassian, if you may take point with the doors. I'm sure that we don't want me to blow them open at each stop.
Alright, Cassian just checks to see if this one's locked.
It is locked. There is an actual key lock on it.
Alright, Cassian will attempt to open it.
Doing what? Just hand? How are you? Oh, okay, with your.
Not with that.
Yep, you fail. It looks like it probably
Doors!
isn't the strongest thing, but it certainly has a key that's needed.
I have something that might work, though it's not exactly delicate. Here, let me try. I will kind of scoot in between. I will pour some water into the lock from my water skin. Does it seem to hold the water
Yeah, there's
enough?
some of it gets down into the mechanism. Absolutely.
Can I use shape water to freeze the water inside of the lock?
You have freeze ability with that shape water?
Yes, I can target water within a 5-foot area, and I can turn it into ice for, I believe it's either 1 minute or 1 hour.
All right. Then it is frozen.
Freeze the water unfreezes in 1 hour. Okay. So with that, I will take a dagger and just kind of try to break the mechanism while it's frozen.
Give me a strength roll.
Ooh, I'm not the best at strength.
Hold on, before he rolls, let me see if I
You might want your strongest character to do it then.
Yeah. Nocari.
That would give you advantage because it would make it easier for the lock to break.
Surprisingly, I actually don't have thaumaturgy. I don't have guidance. Never mind.
Wait, you've been opening and doing these cool tricks and you don't even have the spell?
Oh.
I'm going to find my way down into the dark.
I would lead Nocari since I can
Are
see.
you the only person here who
Yes.
can't see
Yeah.
in the dark?
Wait, don't we?
Yes.
I thought you got
Yeah,
something for
that's
that.
been-
I have light,
no,
but
I
we
never-
don't want to use light because this is a trap, and we want to spring it on them.
So another
Just-
one of my abilities, I can give Nocari
can-
vision.
We can go over something about that later. That was something I will talk about with Miss Ruth. I meant to do it last week, but never got to it. So we're just gonna put a pin in that and then move forward.
Okay.
Just know that I will be the only one at the cannot see until light.
Okay. I forgot that Dragonborn don't have that ability.
Mhm.
Nocari,
Cassian's just gonna guide her to it and tell her that's where it is and smash.
You will have advantage because I will say that you know where to aim and this is frozen, so it's more fragile.
Yeah, I'll just carefully hold up the warhammer and go, okay, just put it on top of the lock and I'll figure it from there.
Okay, we do so.
And did it go?
Oh yeah,
Ah,
you smash it quite handily, and the door swings open from the once the lock is off, and you look out into a sewer. Very dark
Alright.
sewer for Nocari.
The moment the door swings open, Aurelian will take out his spell focus orb, snap his fingers, and now he's gone.
ah, where'd he go?
I'm always with you.
Cassian,
I'll step
Great.
out first since I have the higher AC, and then once we reach doorways, we will let Cassian take point for trying to pick them open.
Do we want our beefy members first, or do we want...
I
to
am a
keep-
beefy member.
I know, that's what
I
I'm...
have high AC and high health.
That's what I'm saying. Do we want our beefy members first, or do we want more of a sneaky approach?
let me just go ahead. He's already do this. Now just let me sneak ahead.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna roll stealth and just forge ahead a little.
Basically, whenever
And Cassian trips.
Splash!
Luckily, there is nothing anywhere in the immediate vicinity to have heard you, but the water that you splash into and get all over you is, shall we say, you'll want to head for a laundry quickly when you get back.
Okay, so is he still Epi? Is he still Vein Leaper, or is he Vein Faller now, or is he Stink Leaper, or what is he now?
It is simply a description of the first interaction we had with them. It is not meant to be derogatory at all.
I thought it was more of a description of his abilities or his actions, which he seems to do a lot.
Perhaps, but he leapt out of the room, so therefore he is still a Vein Leaper.
Point conceded.
As you get further along this corridor, you are able to see that there is a narrower opening that has more liquid in it. There's no sidewalk like you've got in this area that heads off to the east of your location, and then there seems to be a ladder at the south end of this large tunnel that goes back upstairs somewhere.
I don't think
Wait.
that's where we want to go.
So, wait, so this way is the only way that has a path?
No, you can go both ways. This way has a lot of water. You don't know what's that way. This way, you see a dead end with a ladder going back up. Access ladder going up.
Investigate the ladder or go down the hallway.
Can I try to look at the hallway and the stone around it? Apart from Cassian's now dripping footsteps, does it seem like there's any other signs of people maybe getting wet and walking on these tiles, or anything like other people's passage?
Give me an
like that?
investigation roll.
Investigation is not my strong suit. I was hoping you were gonna say survival. We're not having a good night.
Speak for yourself.
It's dark.
Epiphany finally steps out. Is everyone all right?
Cassian is just going to keep his eyes open as he goes towards the ladder.
All right.
Yep, and I'm gonna follow his rear, make sure if anything happens to him, I'll be there to help him right away.
With Cassian's dark vision, you can clearly see there is nothing obvious in the hallway ahead of him, just an access up on this ladder. And as you get closer and can kind of see the circular opening, you realize it's up to a sewer cover in a street somewhere.
Cassian, seeing the sewer cover, looks at the shepherd and say, "I don't think this is the way."
This is not
Very
the way.
well. Very well. I would probably see it too since I have dark vision.
All right, so
So I
turn
guess-
back around.
Turn back around. And
I guess
go
that
back
means
up.
the hallway.
So now you have to step into the yucky water and head down this.
How deep is the water?
Oh, it's probably calf deep.
And it's about 5 feet across, you would say?
Yes.
Can I just use shape water to turn this whole thing into ice so we can walk across it instead of having to slosh through it and be loud?
Everybody will have to have a dex save to not slip.
I wouldn't.
I will purposely break the ice.
That might be even louder than just sloshing.
Save your
So don't do
resources.
it. So
It's
don't
okay.
do
Yeah,
it.
Cassian's just going
But I'll
to
just not do it.
gently go down and be very careful.
Yep. We follow suit. And then I noticed that Relian, we have a reason for why Nocari's not following us.
Epiphany is going last and kind of leading Nocari with their tail. Hold on to the rope.
Essentially.
Probably she's probably murmuring it to at Epi. It's like, oh, this sucks so much. Your new cloak. We get through such trouble getting it.
Is it?
Friend Rillian may be able to clean it easily. We do not need to worry about it.
Oh,
Still.
there's another thing I can do with shape water where I can just change the flow of it so I can make it go around us so we're not sloshing.
It's not flowing. It's just sewage.
Well, it's
Yeah.
very
Sewage flows.
slowly flowing out to the sea.
Quit being a coward. Jump in.
I'm trying to make us more stealthy. All right.
Spring.
And actually,
In the words of Obi-Wan Kenobi, spring the trap.
I don't know if you have the cantrip, Apo, but I would argue if you don't, that maybe Nocari should be behind me and holding onto my
Nope.
rope.
Okay.
So
So
then
I
Nocari
also
would be
kind-
behind me and holding onto my rope for guidance.
I too am trying to do the whole like help with stealth because I could have just done the cantrip myself.
Oh wait, you do know the light spell.
Remember, I went
Just-
Eldritch Knight.
We're just
All right.
we're having the clanker down
Oh.
in the back.
Yeah. So
Hey, Shepherd's a
information.
clanker too.
I need information.
Yes, darling.
How are you proceeding? Are you like every 10 feet, every 20 feet? Are you doing a real perception to try and see if there's anything? Or are you just moving
Flamingos.
steadily down the hall?
We're the flamingos.
I would.
Sorry.
I was just relying on my passive perception, but if you want me to roll perception checks every
In
10
this-
feet,
Yeah,
I would.
your general perception will need to have a little bit more than that.
I will add that Cassian is an expert at seeing traps.
What is your passive, Cassian?
My passive perception, 15.
All right. That may, on some of these things, it may apply.
And since I'm right behind them, I don't know if my passive would be beneficial, but it's 16.
Very good. All right. So our highest perception, it looks like, are in front, unless somebody's got higher. So you can now proceed on down this hallway and see what you find. And let's see, I've only got you, I think, at 60 feet, because when you have more than that, these maps can get overwhelming. But your actual dark vision is 60, or is it more than that?
My dark vision is 60. I think
Okay.
most of ours is, yes.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's
So you are accurate. You're at 60, 10, 20, yeah. Well, I've got
And
you
I
40.
would
Yeah.
point out the investigation perception part of my thieves' tools.
Yep, you're fine. So go ahead and mosey on down the sewer.
Where's
Okay.
Nocari?
Let's see.
Here.
Since I don't see anything, I can't.
Yep.
My
right there.
vision is completely in the dark on the map. After all, so I don't know where everyone's icons are.
Why doesn't somebody like give her a light spell or something that she can pocket, like on a stone or
Because-
something that she can pocket?
Oh, Epiphany will.
The thing is that
Well, I mean, okay. Where is she? Oh, you're. Can you see my icon? I am right next to you.
No, I'll tell you what, Nocari, let me give you 5 feet of visibility, and I'll figure that is your touch range. But, yeah, she's got a real problem, because she has no sight.
well, essentially, when we get into trouble, I'm casting light on her weapon so that she can see. That's why I wanted her to be behind me.
That's
Well, here's an idea. Why don't we have her cast light on her sword and then she sheaths it?
I don't have a sword.
doesn't have a
I
sword.
have the warhammer.
Why don't we cast it on the warhammer and then she sheaths?
All right, so
Why
dump,
don't you
dump,
put it
Don't
on
need the
something that
warhammer.
you can hide away? Something you can hide away and then just peek it out when you really need it, kind of thing.
Cast light on a copper piece.
That's what
Okay.
I did with.
dumb question. All right, just dumb question, just to end all arguing on this one. And why don't I see? Okay, so if I cast light on a weapon bonded item, and then I made it disappear, if I recast it, will it still have light on it?
If the light remains on the object until the spell ends. If you
Okay,
put
so
it in a
if-
sheath, it is still on the object. If you put it on a coin and you put the coin in your pocket, it's still on the coin, but you can take it back out again and have it again.
She's talking more about like banishing it temporarily to an extra dimensional space. Eldritch Knights
Still
get.
affecting it, I would think.
That's yeah. They have sort of the warlock's ability to where they can summon their weapon and make it re-disappear.
Can they make it disappear? I thought they could just summon it to their hand. Oh well.
But bonus action, just teleport it to hand.
Yeah. So she
Is
can,
it a?
like, throw
It's a
someplace.
real object.
I'm looking real quick. Through
As
the
long
bench.
as it is a real object, you can put this on and it will last for the duration.
Okay. Yeah. Then I'll just do that and make it easier on myself.
All right, so your light spell allows vision to how far?
My light spell is exactly what the light spell is. It is just light.
40 feet?
Should be 30 and then an
20,
additional 30.
20 bright light, 20 dim light. So 40 total.
Oh, 20 and 20. Okay, I thought it was 30 and 30.
Mm-mm.
So
If you click off of your character and back onto it, you should have sight.
I do. I just don't know where everyone went to ping where you guys are. Oh, there you are. There's Brilliant, at least.
Yep, and then there's a hallway just in front of them.
Okay. So, taking up behind the pivot.
Yeah, so she can kind of hang back behind the corners and things, and if she feels like she needs to put it away, she can. All right, back onto the light with what Cassian is seeing now. So the group in the video can see what's going on here. Cassian now is seeing down this corridor about 60 feet worth with the dim light, and he is moving along. Nothing seems to be causing him problems or anything. It seems to be a fairly straight path with no interference.
all right, Cassian will keep going.
I'll be one space behind, give you a little bit of space.
As he gets along this strip right in here, his passive perception finds that the wall doesn't look entirely normal. It looks rather pocked in an odd way, but he also notices right at the limit of his vision, clear down in this area here, he notices that it looks like there's an actual door of some kind, access hatch.
Cassian will raise his hand, signaling Shepard to stop, and say in a hushed whisper, "Door up ahead." And there's a string, and this wall here looks off. Cassian will he'll gently touch the wall. Which wall is it?
It's actually both sides of the wall right at this point.
This point. All right. Okay.
Does he relay that message
Yeah, he relayed it.
about the pocked walls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
I
said
will
it's
tell him to
something.
hold back.
Yeah, he said there's something odd about this wall.
Yep, I tell him to hold back.
All right.
It is possible that it's a trap. Something spiky could be going through either side.
Gee, I didn't think of that.
Let's check to see if there's any traps nearby.
Cassian will, let's hope this works. Cassian will pluck a nib, a copper coin, from his pouch and flick it in that spot.
It plops in the water with a kind of an echo reverberating around the tunnel, and you can hear the plop sound going back and forth as it bounces along the walls.
All right, Cassian is just going to.
As
He's
you
just
get
going to.
very close and you are able to see this clearer, you begin to realize that the pock marking looks like there has been stone moving on stone, as if something has slid, and this is on both sides of this area. It's as if there is a sort of a gap, and it looks like it's rubbed at times.
How so?
It just looks like the stone is worn on either side of this crack.
You mean on the walls or?
The walls, yes.
All right.
I pull Varys back. Unless he's trying to do something.
No, I was just exploring.
Okay.
All right, Cassian is going to investigate.
Okay, give me an investigation roll with your Thieves' Tools advantage or however you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You give me a wisdom roll if you would. I just want to know what he is. He has determined something, but I need to know exactly what. He doesn't really understand exactly what this is, but it is clear that a section of the wall on either side, both on this side right here and on the opposite side right here, will move somehow or other. And you notice that there are like fingerprints on the wall right next to where this crack is.
All right. Cassian is going to mimic that and press his fingers on the crack.
On the south wall?
Whichever one the crack is on.
Both walls.
Huh?
Both walls.
All right. He's going to do both.
All right. That'll be interesting. Hold on a second. And of course, they didn't give me an access to this. When you press your hands into the wall, they didn't give me a thing that I can open. This is here, but they didn't give me a dynamic lighting access for this thing, which is really dumb. Both sides of the wall, which you have reached out and touched, both grind inward slightly and then slide sideways. You have an opening on both sides. And to the north, you see nothing but darkness into what appears to be a fairly dark room. And as far as you can see, you see all the way to, let me see, 60 feet, 10, 20. Yeah, you see all the way to a wall on the opposite side. It looks like there's a fairly large room on the north. To the south, you have startled several dwarves, 3 of which are Duergars, and one of which looks like he looks like something out of a steampunk movie. He's got goggles on, he's got tools in his hand, and he is doing something or other. He's been working on something, and why did that happen? And they all jump and turn, and the only thing I can do for you, Cassian, is to put you on the other side of this, since they did not give me the secret door opening. This is basically what you're seeing, and I will move the others behind you as you enter into this. So you have jumped in. They all swing startled, except for the regular dwarf. The Duergars and all the others in the room all swing and start for you. They're very startled. You will have one surprise round as this happens. The guy who is a regular dwarf with the goggles has a bright red beard, and he just looks startled. The one other thing that you see as you step in, he has some kind of purple contraption with a whole bunch of legs, it looks like, spread out on a workbench. And he's got some kind of pronged tool that he's been working on this thing with. Roll for initiative, and I've got to do all these initiatives.
Are we all rolling or just him?
You are all well. Best thing would be for all of you two, because we'll be going into it. He'll be getting one surprise round, and then we'll be going from there. All right, so we need...
Nat 1, cleric roll.
The cleric
Yep.
roll. 2 weeks in a row, or 2 days in a row.
Yep.
Let me do a quick copy, as I always do, so that I have these characters off screen and don't lose them if they die. Okay, so this guy will roll initiative. this guy will roll. What I think I better do with them is I will make them just have their own roll. That would be better for them. Since there's quite a few things, just be patient because I have a lot of things to roll for. And for your others, Cassian is looking into a 20-foot by 20-foot square room with corridors going off in both directions. The corridor going to the west is only a 5-foot corridor, and there's a corridor with a kind of a broken pillar in the middle of it that's 10 feet wide going east into another large room. So there are things going off all over the place here. Did I get that? No, I didn't. So I need this. And finally, I need one more here. All right, let's pull up our initiative order here and see how we're doing. Not a good place to put this. So in order, we now will have, and did the rest of you all roll? Is there anybody missing off of that?
No. Nope.
I have one of those Roll20 hanger-on things where you open something and it leaves behind a little tag from it, and it doesn't go away, and it's right in the middle of where I need it. Need to have things. That's got me. All right. First of all, Cassian, you will have one surprise round before you have your real round, so you'll have 2 turns.
All right. Cassian will just look surprised himself and say, "Now this isn't the way to Nana's house." And he immediately draws his rapier and goes for this guy.
Ah! Ah! What do you think you're doing? All right, you.
Does he?
Oh.
Since it's a surprise round, does he happen to have advantage on his attacks?
Yes.
Oh, right. I need to roll my 2d6 as well.
It doesn't matter. You have stabbed this scientist to death.
Well, just for us, just, you know.
All right. So the scientist that was working at the table has dropped to the floor. He is dead. And as he drops, Cassian realizes that he has manacles on. And it is now Cassian's turn. Actual turn.
Cassian is just notices them, and he's just saying "oopsie" in his mind, a real big oopsie in his mind as he just goes for this Duergar here and slashes at him.
Very good. That is a miss, bada bada bada. All right.
And with that, he will disengage.
All right. You were able to move through good. They at least do not have let me check this. Apparently they don't have the restrict movement on. Yeah, they don't. So you are able to at least get through that wall now that you know where it is. So I don't have to worry about moving you through. That'll help quite a bit. All right, so let me mark for the rest of you. I'm going to put a circle on the floor where these secret doors are so you know. I'll just make a square here, a red square, make sure I'm on the right layer. Yes, I am. So the doors, the secret doors opened where this square is on the floor there. So you know where to go. So if you go north or south, you will go into something at that point. All right. We are now up to this guy who immediately, let's see, what do they have? They probably are typical dwarven. Yep, 25. So he is able to make it here and into the hallway. He takes one look and goes, "There's a whole bunch of them! Call the reinforcements!"
Well, all right. There goes the stealthy approach.
And he will.
And are these doors currently open?
Yes, wide open.
Just can't get rid of them for some reason.
And he will swing a pick, a heavy pick, a war pick kind of thing, at Cassian, and crits a 24 for 13 piercing damage.
Ouch. Well, I deserve that.
Yeah.
Epiphany.
I need to do some math. Okay. How would I be able to get to a place where I can see into one of these rooms, or is it totally blocked off?
There's the way they've done it. You would be able to see from about 5 feet away, say here or here. From the south wall, you would be able to see slightly into the room on the north, and from the north wall, you'd be able to see slightly into the room on the south.
Okay, so that'll give me, I can step here, so Epiphany will squeeze over here, and this was the one that...
It's just dark and apparently empty. You don't see anything in there, but when you sidle over to the north wall, you can see that there are people and things moving around in this other room.
How far away is the wall?
On which one, the north or south?
This one.
You've basically got a square room with a 5-foot opening door where I drew that square. So the wall, there's a thick wall, so we'll say it's 22 feet away.
Okay, so this wall is 22 feet away?
Yeah, the room itself is, yeah, you just about touched the wall when you did that arrow.
Okay, perfect. Right at this spot.
Okay.
At the wall. Furthest down he sees, Epiphany's going to cast Calm Emotions.
Okay. So this is, how many feet does it have?
20-foot radius.
All right. So you would basically, I'm going to draw a circle so that I have an idea. So you're casting it at that point that you can see, is what you're saying, where the arrow is? All right. So let me draw a circle.
Cassian will be included, but
20-foot radius, you said, not...
Yeah.
Yeah, radius. Okay, so let me make a big circle here. Big thing.
Epiphany is choosing ambivalence. So each humanoid in that 20-foot radius centered on the point must make a charisma saving throw. A creature can choose to fail the saving throw if it wishes. If a creature fails the saving throw, choose one of the following 2 effects. I don't know if that's per creature or not. Would would you rule that it's per creature? Like I choose the effect per creature, or would you rule that it's one effect?
I would
all
rule
spell?
that you decide what effect that area of effect has.
Okay. Yeah, then I'm going to choose ambivalence.
All right. It will affect up to me. I'm not quite sure. What is there a damage type that this is considered or something?
It's not a damage type, it's a charisma saving throw. It's not considered...
Like psi or anything like that. Okay.
No, it's not considered a charm effect or anything like that. It's literally just, if they fail the charisma saving throw, the DC is a 13. They are indifferent to creatures of my choice that they would be hostile towards, and I'm going to choose us as the creatures that they would be hostile towards.
Okay, let me do 4 rolls because you will affect 4 people in that circle. You wanted the center where you pointed, right?
Yeah, the center is going to be on that wall.
Very good. So let me do a save for this one. What did you say your DC was?
13.
Okay, so since you are the attacker, it goes to you. That was a tie. Let me see. We have 2 of these. To the left. Come on, roll 20. So far, we've got 3 fails, and I've got 1 more.
Ooh.
Once again, they tied, so it went to you. You got 2 ties and 2 complete fails, so you wound up, all 4 of the people within that radius failed.
Okay, so it's concentration for a minute. Epiphany will sort of pat Cash on the back and say, and then look at the dwarf. We apologize. We are simply passing through.
Very good. Oh, I didn't roll his. I rolled the ones that were in the room.
Oh,
I
yeah.
need 1 more. The one in
Watch
front of
him
you.
be the only one who fails.
The one in front of you I didn't roll for, so let me roll his. 11, so he failed too. So all 5 of the creatures in that circle have failed. So let me put
yeah.
a bunch of ho-hum marks of some kind on these. What can I put for a little bit dazed on these guys? How about just a half-sleeping sort of image so I know which ones are actually ho-hum about you.
And then Epiphany will call back. If they seem if they do not seem hostile, please leave them alone.
And the dwarf that attacked Cassian and did damage to him is suddenly looking around and like picking at the wall and looking, oh, fine construction here.
Vein Leaper, if you hit him, I will eat you in your sleep.
Yeah, I'm feeling the puncture wound right now.
Varys.
Hello? That's Varys isn't British. Hello. Hello. Fancy a cup of tea?
Hello, Poppy.
Oh
Hello.
God.
All right, enough of the Monty Python.
Are you saying this to the Durgar in front of you?
Yes, he's basically, without messing up his accent again, he's going to be asking what all this is in the room.
Oh, hello there. Dropped in, did you? Well, you were just in time. We had the inventors completing our little project. but he appears to have gone to sleep. There's something wrong with him. Aye,
With
mates,
the-
is there something wrong with him? It looks like the inventor's asleep.
I can wake him back up if you'll allow me to pass.
Oh, of course. Of course.
I will use the rest of my Lanxious movement to slip into... There's a lot of people in here.
And if you see the red circle, the ones inside the red circle are, they don't care. However, this one does.
Ah. I see. What is it?
It's a little tiny floating balloon with a whole bunch of eye stalks on it, but it's only
It's
about...
like a baby beholder.
Yep.
We have encountered this. Oh, you weren't here for it. We have encountered this before.
I'll kind of give a wave and a smile to everyone in the room. Be like, "Hi, I'm just gonna wake up your scientist here. Give me a few moments, please."
Oh no.
Oh,
Can I-
that's good. We need him to complete what he had started. I don't know why he fell down like he did.
I don't know which ones are aggressive and which ones are affected
see
by
the
the
little-
spell.
Can't you see the little mask on the ones that are affected?
No, I know.
I think
They are.
Barely
they're-
doesn't.
well, see,
Yeah,
here's the thing,
that's what it
they're-
means.
Here's the thing. They're indifferent. Like they're not the ones who aren't.
I
not
think
paying attention
Varys
at all.
would know which ones
That-
are hostile.
Okay. So does this mini gazer thing look like he's going to be very hostile?
Yeah, the one that is right next to you is like looking over you, and all its eyeballs are looking you up and down, and it's not doing any kind of fast movement or anything. Meanwhile, the one on the south west corner is like...
He's the
He's
Never
aggressive.
mind. Yeah, he's aggressive. Okay, so I will go forward and use one use of my healing kit to stabilize a creature at 0 hit points.
It doesn't work with NPCs.
He's just flat out dead. Okay. In that case, with the rest of my movement, I'm going to slip back out into the hallway. Yeah, there's a lot more of them. Some in other rooms. It looked like there were like goblins, other dwarves, and these little puffball tentacle things. One in there is aggressive, so it may be coming out and attacking.
we need to go.
Yep.
I don't think this has anything to do with what's going on, does it?
Did it
I think
take-
it does.
my act? Would it have taken my action to to find out that my healer's kit doesn't work?
No, I'm ignoring that.
Okay.
That was an OOC information that you need to know that unfortunately doesn't work with NPCs.
I will, in that case. Was there another way out of this fine establishment you have here?
Oh, there's a ladder up there and one over there. I think you can get out through the maintenance entrance too. They're all over the place if you want to leave. Nice meeting you.
It's been lovely. I will use my action to throw caltrops down on the ground in this doorway.
Okay.
The doorway he has to get back in to.
If he takes damage, he's no
No.
longer ambivalent.
No. If we fight the creature, if he takes damage from us, he's no longer ambivalent.
It still
he's-
counts.
It's
Any damage will-
Is that if the target it ends if it's attacked or harmed by a spell, or if it witnesses any of its friends being harmed. So yeah, so technically, if they just step on something and take damage, it doesn't.
Any,
they have to,
it
you know,
wakes
stay
them up,
confined.
basically. They put a tack through their foot and they go, ow, wait, what are these people doing here?
I mean, the gazer's coming out to attack us anyway.
Isn't the geyser
We
held
don't
down by something? It's on the
know
roof.
that yet.
The geyser, of
I
course,
just
won't
said
be
that.
affected by the
You
cataract.
I think the important thing to determine is should we be going this way, or this way?
Oh my god.
My turn is over.
Moving myself up.
When the DM smiles, it's already too late.
My turn was taking a little bit too long, so it's over now.
Okay, so let's see. This one, he's trying to lift up the dwarf with the red beard, and the dwarf just keeps falling down. He's going, "Wake up, Thornan, wake up!" And this one he wanders over and does the same thing. He's trying to help his friend lift up the dwarf. Rellian, it is your turn.
Relian is going to follow at a very leisurely pace behind the rest of them. He is still invisible. However, unbeknownst to all of you, his hand is now in his pocket, and he's just waiting for something.
Oh.
He's just waiting for all. He's waiting for all of you to pass. For the
When
dwarves to go
Rellian
back
puts
to
his
the-
hand in his pocket, stand way back.
I think I know what your hand is on. Is that
Okay,
an orb in
you
your
know
pocket,
what?
or are you
No.
happy to see me?
You know what? No, we're moving on.
We're moving on,
So
please.
basically, I'm following. I'm keeping my distance from them, and I'm holding my action for something special.
All right. This is okay. So it's in general. So this one will. Do you have problems with Thornan? Here, I'll help you. And these two are like, what? What's going on? Wait a minute. Okay. Now, is this AOE that you cast, Epi? Is it actually an AOE that affects them when they step into it, or is it a one-time cast?
It's kind of like Fairy Fire. It affects people in the area, and then it's an effect on them even after they move out on it.
Yeah, but if somebody moves into that area, it doesn't affect them.
No, it's not. No, it's just like it's poof. You're covered in ambivalence glitter.
It is
Yeah.
everyone in the area at
guys,
the moment.
what are you doing? You're all. Wait a minute. We're supposed to stand back here. Why are you going there? Stop. Come back. What the hell are you doing? And then you hear somebody going, "What's going on up there? Hey, come back here. What are you guys doing?" You hear a lot of voices, some of them very small voices, and some of them very gruff voices coming from all over and ricocheting out into the hall. And the Duergar in front of you, the friendly one, turns and looks and goes, don't worry, Corksrod, it's just some friends that dropped by. No problem.
Close the door.
Yeah.
Just move, fucking move.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to squeeze to one side to let Relian pass because she knows that he's somewhere behind her.
And I got to move.
Whatever you're gonna do it now.
I'm just waiting for all of you to move past the door, and for that Drogar to start going into the door. That's all I'm waiting for.
All right, so basically I'm trying to decide if you want me to move on to the next person. How do you want to... I guess I actually have, really.
He wants,
Let's see,
he wants
this
us
guy.
to move.
And I got to see how far they move in a turn. We've got to see what we go here. They are 30. Okay. So the angry little balloon comes out and immediately flies into Cassian's face. And I've got to roll a d4, and it's 2 of the following, so I need 2 d4s. Alrighty. We have one of these and one of these. Alright, the first thing, I need a DC 12 dex save from Cassian.
Dex save.
do I have all the types I need? I think I do. All right, so we were up to them. They were moving, so they are coming up here as people are yelling. Got to get all these things moved in. And we will go on with where we are. So we are now up to, and this guy is off the turn order. So we are now up to Nocari.
I don't really know where I can move. I've been looking at this going, it's like, this is a crowded hallway, and I'm opting for getting away, far away from the door.
Yeah. But there's this door here.
We can
And this
move
one
through
here.
allies.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can move. As long as there's no more than 2 people abreast, you can move through.
So you can move all the way forward.
Okay, now when you said there was voices and stuff like that, were they coming from
You're
the room or the
south,
hallway?
from the south room. You hear lots of voices and squeaks and sounds and deep voices and all kinds of things.
I'm just going to grumble and go, I don't know what you people did. And I will keep my hand on the wall and turn off the light that I have and just kind of make my way across the hall.
I will leave you up with it. You can just RP that you can't see.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go through here. And then just kind of wait on the other side.
Click where you're going to, so you're going to go down the passage is what you're doing?
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, so you
I feel like we shouldn't do this. We shouldn't do this. Like, I don't even know what this is. So.
Yeah, I'm just saying I needed clarification of whether you were retreating into the northern room or whether you were going on down the corridor or backing up behind you. I need to know which way you were going. Okay, so you move down the corridor. Shepard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm moving down the corridor as well. Going past the room, as a grave cleric, my healing is amplified when it comes to people who are at death's door. I can give out full healing when people are unconscious, essentially. Right. Can I reasonably tell that the dwarf that Cassian took down cannot be saved?
What you would basically have is the way I operate it. Hello, camera. Come back. There we go. That basically, like the Speak with Dead spell, if you do a full restoration on somebody, you actually can bring them back, but you cannot stabilize them or do a standard heal on an NPC. You can't do the stabilizing like you do with the death saves on a PC character.
Okay, then essentially he's unsavable for me because I don't have anything that can restore him otherwise. Then I just keep moving. Let me see where I was.
And as you look through the door on the south, you just see duergars, kobolds, gazers, goblins, all kinds of things swarming around this room. And in the middle of them are some very confused-looking individuals that don't understand why everybody's all upset, including the guy that you passed.
So there's one that doesn't look like it's calm. It is an aggressive nature if it sees me.
Yep, and Discord just rearranged all of our boxes.
Yep, it's because Mink's camera went off.
Sorry, I'm having family interruptions.
All right, we're back.
Cursed family.
So there is some that I can tell that are aggressive against us.
They're running for the door, and then there are like 4 or 5 that are just kind of standing there going, what's all the excitement? What's happening?
I'm not actually stepping in. I just need to see where it is that I can, who it is I can see. So which ones do I see?
If you can see them from that position, you can see them.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, which ones? Because I have a spell, but I have to target someone. Which ones do I see that are not that are aggressive?
The ones closest to you seem very confused. The ones further away down each of the corridors look like they are not.
So this dwarf right here, then, I am going to cast Hold Person.
So this guy here?
Yep.
All right.
So it is a Wisdom saving throw. DC is 14 or 15. I can't remember. It is 14.
I've rolled. Roll 20. Doesn't want to roll it. Come on. There it goes. Only took about 10 seconds. He fails. So he is
Paralyzed.
paralyzed. All right.
Paralyzed for the duration. There is no saving throw on his turn. Oh no, the target does make a saving throw at the end of each of its turns. Never
I was
mind.
about to say, you're casting Hold Person, right?
Yeah, I'm casting Hold Person. So
Yeah.
now let me see. Where is 30 again? 30 is that way. So, and then I just continue walking past. Like, oh, hello there. Hold Person. Then I just keep walking. And that ends my turn.
Okie doke. Very good. And we are up to Cassian again.
Cassian will, he'll immediately just close the door, the southern door.
I think we
And
need it
he'll-
open still
Why?
because of Relian.
Relian's right here.
Yeah, Relian is
Ryan's
holding
going to
something.
do something.
Well, Cassian
So
will just...
we need the door open.
Just walk away from the
Cassian,
door.
yeah, he's just going to over to here. Wait.
The squares are 5 feet, so basically 6 squares.
And that's it. He's just gonna hold an action or something.
Where are you going? I just got to know you. What's going on? Huh?
Oh, you know, we're in a hurry.
Oh, well, was nice meeting you. All right, Epiphany. Epiphany.
We can't hear you.
Oh, okay. So this little geezer guy came out.
Yeah, he's out there, but he's just met some
Just-
friends he didn't know before.
Okay, Epiphany's just gonna continue on his merry way there.
Varys?
Varys, this balloon guy, he
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
does
him
seem
there.
hostile.
He is hostile, yeah. So, Epiphany backed up because that may affect you.
Oh, okay. So
I'll leave Cassian.
All the rest of us have gotten
Yeah.
by without attacks
Yeah.
of opportunity.
But yeah, I forgot. But I'll stop Epiphany on that. Cassian, I'll let you go on. But the gazer
Yeah,
has come out
he
and
would have disengaged.
yeah. So Epiphany, you've got a gazer right in your face.
okay,
Question.
yeah.
Would the indifferent Draugr in front of us, since he is indifferent towards us right now,
Completely indifferent.
could you possibly say he would be confused at the gazer's aggression, maybe trying to calm it down?
Oh, at this point he is until the gazer gets damaged.
So the
Let me read-
gazer itself is like occupied with the.
He's an allied. He's an allied character. So
No, I get that.
Okay,
but
okay,
I mean,
hold on. Let me
Okay.
figure out what's going on. Okay, if I attack the gazer, will it knock the Duergar out?
Mm-hmm.
yes, because it's an allied character.
But he's supposed to be completely indifferent. We'll talk about it later. Anyway, okay. So Epiphany.
It says
What
on
else?
that he,
Could use the-
whether it
could use
sees
the different
any of his
ends the target.
friends,
Or any
that
of his friends.
witnesses
Got it.
any of his
Got it.
friends.
So Epiphany will just scoot past. Would you mind scooting back into that room? I can't get past you. And then
Uh,
Epiphany will try to. Scoot.
Okay, he'll start edging through. All right, you will take an attack of opportunity from the gazer.
Okay.
And he will bite at you. And with a 10, he's not going to hit much of anything.
Epiphany keeps walking. Thank you for moving, and then Epiphany will turn now that he can't be seen, and he's going to cast Mind Sliver.
Okay, so you are attacking intellect save. Oh God! Oh, if this guy saves, it's going to be the biggest miracle roll the world has ever seen.
Gazes are not intelligent creatures.
He rolls a 9. So
6
it has
psychic
taken 6 psychic damage. It is not immune to psychic, is it? Nope. Okay, so 6. And suddenly the Duergar standing in the doorway, he was looking in at the others running around like chickens with their heads cut off, and suddenly goes, wait, what just hit our gazer? And this
Did
one...
he see
It must
an
have been the
invisible-
wind.
Did he see an invisible psychic thing hit the Gazer's brain?
Well, he sees that it got injured. He sees his... Doesn't it count if he is just like, sees it hurt? If they are attacked or harmed by a spell.
By a spell or if it or if it witnesses it. DM's rule.
So I'm going to say this one.
What was that?
This one witnessed it. The others did
What
not
are you
witness.
hiding?
He is no longer pacified. All right, but the others
So-
still are.
Did he step back into the doorway?
Yeah, he just kind of stepped with his back into the doorway to let Epiphany go past, and then suddenly his friend gets hit here in the hallway, and he's like, wait, what hit him?
Okay. So he did not step quite on the caltrops yet. Gotcha. I will pass through this area, take another look in. Oh, there's a lot of people moving for here. I guess we're... I'll look at the rest of them. Are we doing this, or, like... Should I take a swing?
No.
Alright. I continue on my merry way.
And
Should
now
close the door.
you will take an attack of opportunity from the Gazer and the Duergar.
And the Duergar. Can I use my action to take the disengage action?
Yes.
Okay. And the Gazer already uses attack of opportunity on
Epiphany.
right?
Yeah.
Old fashion.
So he wouldn't have gotten one anyway. So that's my action.
And at this point, I am going to use the movement and the action I have been holding. I am going to walk up here.
Now you will
going to
take an
look in this
attack
room.
of opportunity.
I'm invisible.
Oh, that's right, yes.
I am invisible, and nothing knows I'm here. Oh, there is quite a lot of people in here.
There's
Okay.
a lot.
So I'm going to look inside this room. Does anything look combustible, explodable, delicate?
There's a work table with this funny metal spider-looking thing on it, but most of the furniture and things in this room look like they're made out of stone, actually.
Okay, well, in for a penny, in for a pound. Relian is going to remove his hand from his pocket, with which he has 2 orange beads in between his fingers. He is going to throw them at the work table and just scream, "Run!"
And what's the radius on it?
Let's see, beads. Let's see, necklace of. It's just basically compressed fire.
Yeah, it's fireball. I just need a fireball spell, and it's radius.
It is a
Oh
20
my
foot
god,
radius.
it is 150. No, wait, no. Okay,
It's
that's
120 whatever
foot
foot
radius.
range, but it is a
Brain.
20-foot radius, yes.
20-foot radius, yes. 20-foot.
So same circle as what Epiphany had there, and you are putting it on the workbench. Because that's
Let me.
that circle that you're seeing will stay there. That's exactly the radius.
We are behind a wall.
Hmm.
Yeah. We are behind a wall.
Fireball spreads around corners.
That's right. That's what I was going to look up. I believe it
Oh,
spreads
does it?
around corners. Yes.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, I'm going to throw it into. Well, I feel like I should know that, so I'm going to throw it into the farthest bit of the
TPK.
can. Hell no. Let's try if it's centered on the table. Let's try centered around here on this Dorgar.
Yeah, I'm double checking that it goes around. Ignites flammable object, spreads around corners. Yes, I wanted to be sure that I was right. So the far door is where you're going to do it, the opposite wall.
Yeah, let's do the far door because that'll not get us in the blast radius.
All right, so the radius will look like that now.
Okay, wonderful. Yep, I'm throwing 2 of them, which would be technically cast at a level 4 slot according to the thing, and that would be, oh my god, that would be 9d6 of
It's
damage, and I
going-
am running.
Yeah, that's going to be basically overkill is what that's going to be. But anyway, so roll your 9d6, and we'll see if anything survives. I don't see how anything in that radius is going to survive. $32 damage. I'm just checking for half damage to see if anything could survive. Yeah, there are a few things that would possibly survive. All right, so the fireball detonates with a horrible sound. The dwarf standing in the doorway and the gazer in your hallway are both okay, but this one's gone.
Reminder that there's a Durgar that's paralyzed, so I believe it automatically fails its dex saving throw.
Yeah, but it will still be alive.
Barely.
I got the work table. I'm happy about that. That's what they seem proud of. That's what they seem invested in.
And if anyone asks questions about that dwarf, Rallian killed him.
What?
They're not gonna find the stab wound in the char marks.
Oh,
Shit, I
God.
saw
All right,
him
I've taken off the
But don't
ones
worry.
that couldn't
So-
possibly save. Now let me see the rolls for the ones that could save. So we have 3 characters here that could save, and they are no longer charmed. I'll tell you that. And this guy will take the 32 because he is paralyzed. Now, these 2, what's your 13? DC 13, no, that's his. What's your DC?
My DC is my DC is 15.
And it's a dex, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So 1, okay, the first one on top saved. As a matter of fact, he crit saved, but anyway, he saved, so he takes 16 damage. And the one below him saved. So they both took only half damage.
Frankly, the damage is even second nature at this point. One, I was trying to call their numbers true, but I'm trying to completely wreck their workshop. I'm trying to give them something bigger to worry about than us.
You also, the last thing you see is you see things exploding behind you in the hall, is you see little bits of purple metal come blasting across the hallway and blast into the wall on the opposite side. So it sounds like you got the workbench pretty good. All right, so we are still going. We are up to, let's see if this is one. Yeah, he's still alive. He, however, is no longer charmed.
Let me see here. Hold on. Okay, I was holding that movement. Okay, so this would technically put Rellian right about here, dashing his brains out.
And matter of fact, I would say pretty much the once it saw all its friends and everything else, just about everybody here is no longer charmed. So the charm is gone. But you have
Charmed or
way...
charred?
Both. Sorry, Eppy.
But you have way fewer people to contend with, I'll tell you that. So this one screams as his flesh is burnt, and he comes dashing for the door to see what's going on, takes one look and sees some people in the hallway, simply assumes they are the ones who caused it, and attacks straight into Nocari's face with his war pick. 18. What's your armor?
My armor class is 18, but I'm double checking something on this. Yeah. Because I hear this coming out from behind me, I am going to reaction shield.
Okay. In that case, he misses, but boy, he doesn't miss by much. You just pull your head back before the pick would have gone right through your skull, and it hits the wall on the right next to you. All right, so we are up to this guy who also will come out and do the same thing. And he misses entirely, so we are now up to Rellian. Let's see, that was actually, yeah, they would have, okay, actually, they neither one, yeah, I got the turns out of order. Let me,
why am I being pulled?
yeah, because I grabbed the wrong one. So they would have been
You're
back
being punished.
here. Yeah, they would have been back here. Rellian, now this, see if I've got any of these left. Yeah, this guy, one there, one there. Okay. He runs in.
Wait, my turn got skipped?
I thought that was when you ran.
I was holding. That was an action. That was a held action, though.
Yeah, and you did a disengage, I thought you said.
No. I didn't have to because I was invisible.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There was some action that I thought you said you took. Anyway, all right, so take your action then.
Okay, well, I now see a gazer and, was it 2 of these fellas that were attacking Nocari right now?
They're not, actually, because I got the turns out of order. They're
Ooh, I didn't use a spell.
Oh.
Right. We were up to Rellian. It was up to your turn, so
Oh, I see.
they were charmed before that, and then you cast yours, and now they're not charmed.
Well, then just as a free action, I'm going to say, are we running or are we fighting? I took out a good quarter of them. What are we doing, boss lady?
Nocari?
So are we running or gonna fight this? Cause
That's what Rellian is asking you.
Yeah, I'm all for keep going. I'm just gonna like just keep. Yeah, but was this supposed to be where we're supposed to go? Because I don't think so.
I don't actually know, to be fair.
The cellar, the letter did say that the cellar was supposedly owned by the Xanathar's Guild, and those are gazers.
We could wipe them out, but that's Nocari's call.
If we move, we're going to be chased. If we don't move, we have a fight on our hands.
It's
Standard
about
fights.
Sending a message.
All right, I'm hearing fight, so fight it is. And,
yeah, I mean, I honestly don't really know. Like, this whole thing is just, it went from 0 to, part of my French, shit show in like 3 seconds. So if things are going to be coming after us, we might as well just kill the rest of them since we've already nuked a good chunk
Blast
of it.
them with fire.
already did that. Let's try pure magic. Hey, Beatty. I'm gonna point at the beholders. I mean, not the beholder. God, that would be a nightmare. But the gazer still in the hallway, and just thrust out my hand and bloop bloop bloop. Not much, but a little bit.
6 damage. They're not all that. You blast. He has 7 waving eye stalks, and you blast off 6 of them in one blast. You blast off 6 of his 7 eye stalks in one attack. He's pretty badly injured, in other words. All right, you done? Go with the.
I'm going to move a little behind Cassian, so I'm the last attacked. But other than that, yeah, I'm good.
Or the first
Okay.
attacked because of that door.
And
Dude,
these
no, the
guys have...
door is still by you and Shepard.
This door.
No, this door. That's
Oh,
closer to
you're
you.
right. Well, what'll happen will happen.
And so he is 10, 20, 30. What's going on, boss? What's going on? And there's no other ones of them in range.
Did
And-
someone move into the doorway?
Yeah, somebody moved into the doorway. And then we've got...
Caltrops.
Oh, yes. What's the damage on the caltrops?
I believe it's a DC 15 dexterity saving throw, or they take 1 point of damage. It's not much damage, but it does.
They rolled 22 for their dex.
They succeeded.
They just kind of lightly jump over the funny little spiky things in the middle of the floor and start talking to the dwarf. And then we've got another character here that is basically doing... He comes out and you can actually see a kobold come in. Let me give him his dex save.
So if they fail the DC 15, they stop moving for the turn, and their speed is reduced by 10 feet until they regain at least 1 hit point.
Okay. And how much damage did you say? 1?
It's only 1 point of piercing damage.
Okay. All right.
But they have to stop moving in that area.
Yeah, the kobold took 1 point of damage. And is going ow, 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 as it steps in. They're so small that they're squeezing right under the legs of the Duergar that was there. All right.
That's about to be a real target-rich environment.
Yeah. The Gazer, meanwhile, which is very wounded, but it's programmed with this. I need a 2d4 roll again. The two people in front are, well, actually, no. It would only be one of them. So the first one rolled as a 2, because it only has 1 eye stalk left. So the Nocari needs to roll a DC 12 Wisdom save.
Just remember, I hate all of you for starting this.
I didn't do anything.
You have succeeded. It tries to frighten you, but with 6 eye stalks gone, it's not all that frightening, and you can just laugh in its eyeball. All right, we are up to the guy who is frozen, and he needs to roll a what again to see if he's no longer
DC 14 Wisdom save.
DC 14 Wisdom. 15, he's no longer frozen, and you hear him yell, "After them!"
Well, I guess that's that.
But he only gets right up to the door, not into the caltrops. Nocari, it's your turn.
Let's see. Then there's no one in front of me?
No, well, there's a gazer, a very wounded gazer. But actually moved right up in your face when he tried to cast that.
Well, I don't have very good luck at hitting small creatures, but I'm just going to, yeah.
That, I believe, is a hit. Yes, it is. And you slice off its last eye stalk and down into its big eye in the middle of its forehead, and it just kind of goes and splats on the floor.
Pesky the threat.
It kind of oozes out like a water balloon that got popped open, and just the jelly inside of it just kind of oozes all over the floor. Shepherd.
I am going to move 20 feet that way. So it's the space right in front of the door. I am going to hold my action. My action is I am holding Toll the Dead for the first enemy that walks out through that doorway over here.
All right. Cassian.
Cassian is going to he is going to go over to here and again hold action for anything that he has his crossbow out and will fire at whatever he sees first.
The first thing that comes out of the door is what was your friend a little bit ago, but he's not anymore. He charges at Nocari. Use all your hold actions, please.
Is this guy damaged?
No.
All right, so DC 14 Wisdom saving throw or 8 necrotic damage.
And I will use my crossbow.
He takes the 8 necrotic damage. And shoots your crossbow. And that misses.
And it misses.
That misses, yep. And he proceeds to swing his pick. Let's see. As he comes charging out of the door, you watch as he enlarges until he is so big that nothing could pass him in the hallway. He's like twice the size that he was. He is like 2 individuals wide and tall. He becomes this huge dwarf, taller than you. And as he does this, even his war pick that he's wielding grows in size as he swings at Nocari.
No fair.
I still hate this entire situation.
He crits.
Join the club, Sugar Scales.
He crits for a total
How bad?
20 piercing damage.
Yikes.
Wait.
Ow.
So, wait, what was the actual roll?
It was, he rolled a 24 with a crit, and he rolled 9 plus 11 on the crit.
Alright, so yeah, I should have been...
Make sure
Okay.
you're at full health.
Guys, let me tell you something about full health. It's called 36.
Yeah.
Also,
All right.
Nocari, I can't see your health bar. Could you move your token down a little bit?
Oh, I'm still trying to adjust it on the thing there. I don't really... This hallway is really tiny, so it's like impossible to make
I need you to move it. There you go. I just need to see what the health
Horrible
bar looks like.
Yeah, it really is. Alright, well, I still have a reaction. I'm not, since Shield is not going to do it. I'm just gonna reaction. Where is it? Oh no, that's if thought I had a reaction on that, but I don't, so I'll skip that.
Very good. Shrinking some things down here so I can see one thing at a time.
I forgot that this is more of a thing for a tiefling, which I am not.
Alrighty, I've adjusted the screen so we
You
can
are
see a
not
little
just
closer.
Not even.
Alright, we are up to Cassian, up to him. We're on Epiphany. And let me enlarge him so you realize he has this enlarged ability.
Am I able to reach him, or are Nocari and Varys in the way?
Wait, it's my turn, right?
No, you
No.
already
You
went.
already took it. You went before this
Crossbow.
guy.
That was a held action on that. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and take your you need a turn. Go ahead.
Cassian,
already went though.
He took
it was a held action.
It was a
And
held action.
A held action on the guy that went after him.
Or
Yeah.
oh wait, yeah, it is Epi's turn.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, can Epi reach him? Or is there too many people in the way?
Well, they are small enough you can crowd past them. You can get past your people, you cannot get past him.
Yeah. Okay. So Epiphany is going to slide, kind of slither around the pair, shift, and then the tail is going to lunge out and try to stab him in the thigh with a corrosive strike.
Okay. And I gotta check to see if his
2
armor
damage.
if his armor class does anything. I don't think it does. One large use large, double damage, double strength, next strength check, and throw. Its armor does not change. Okay, good. Alright, so you did hit for 2 damage.
Woo. And then Epiphany will back away.
What are you doing? Something that he won't get an attack of opportunity?
Nope.
Okay, then he will take an attack of opportunity. 18
18 will hit.
for 10 piercing.
Okay, 2 things happen. First, I have to do a con save for my spell. It's half of 10, so 10, so maintain concentration. And 2, the moment it strikes them, Epiphany, like a third eye opens up on Epiphany's forehead, and they like twist and shift, and eyes momentarily open all around them and stare at the Duergar. And
The giant dwarf.
he'll activate Rebuke of the Eye. So
You have been rebuked. DC 13 Dex.
Dex save or 12 acid damage.
13. So you win because you are the attacker. In my world, it always goes to the attacker on attack. So your attack succeeded. He takes the 12. It's not halved or anything, huh? 12.
You tell me.
I'm just reading it. Doesn't seem to be.
Yeah.
Seems to be all or nothing.
There's half damage on a successful save. This is the modified hellish rebuke that we talked about.
Yep, you're fine.
Way back in ye olden days.
He yells in pain, and he yells so loud that the walls actually shake, and little pieces of the stonework start crumbling off the ceiling around you, Varys. And as soon as we finish the turn order, which will be down through Shepherd, we will call it for this evening wherever you are. So, Varys.
Varys is going to, with his movement, try to push in front of Nocari and push him behind her, seeing that she just took a massive wound. It's up to Lyn, however, if he actually does manage to succeed, or whether he's just like kind of pulling. Mom!
What is he trying to do?
He's trying to use his movement to like intercede himself between Nocari and the Duergar.
The Duergar's right in her face. That would be. She'd have to step back, and that'd be an attack of opportunity if she did.
Just
okay.
do it.
Can I see? You said that he's so large that nothing can get past. Can I see the doorway?
No. He is basically. His stocky build is just. His head is kind of bent over a little bit on the ceiling.
Varys, be Aquaman. Throw your trident in his face.
I mean, I was just going to stab him with it, not necessarily throw it at him.
Just do it.
Be Aquaman.
Let me make my attack roll.
Do the beams?
You doing a ranged attack, or are you doing?
No, I'm doing a melee.
You've got reach on melee, don't you? Is it a
no,
reach
but I was
weapon?
going to do the same thing that Epi did, kind of move into
And that's
Nocari's
fine.
space.
I just need to know if it was a 5-foot or 10-foot weapon.
It was a 5 foot. 25
that's
to
a
hit.
hit. That's a hit.
One of
And
these-
this
One of
guy,
these days, I am.
Guys,
Sorry, go ahead.
there is blood coming out of his leather armor all over the place.
But he's not unconscious.
Nope.
Bonus action, yeah!
What's your bonus action?
Unarmed attack is 24 and 5 bludgeoning.
He's down on one knee, but even then, he still feels the thing pretty well. And I want to see. Yeah.
Speaking
It
of
doesn't
reach, one of-
undo it.
Speaking
So-
of reach, one of these days I am going to make a bugbear spearman and take advantage of that.
Oh yeah, that's great. Wait, he's still conscious?
Barely.
Spend a key point to do flurry of blows. Ha!
Okay.
Third unarmed attack.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He's dead. But you have this enormous thing now. Let me see. It ought to say something on death, but I don't see anything saying what happens on death. Possible.
Okay, I've just got this awesome
I'm going to
image,
make a
so
I'm going to make a GM ruling that upon death he shrinks back down. So
I am not using lethal damage.
you couldn't not use lethal damage on him
You
yet.
stabbed him.
I punched him.
With a crit!
That's fair. Yeah!
What's happening in my mind's eye
Sorry,
is what
I'm
Ears.
excited.
Varys just does this martial arts move. He sides along Nocari, stabs this guy in the side, knocks his knee out with one punch to get him down on one knee, and then when he's down on one knee and he can actually reach his head, he just key fists his head until it explodes.
Yeah, basically this guy has just been punched into non-existence. So, and his size just kind of shrinks as he dies here, even though it doesn't say anything about that. I don't see how he can magically maintain it.
I then move in front of Nocari and stand on top of his corpse, trident at the ready.
Okay.
We just saw some very impressive martial arts.
All right. So, let's see. Let me find that guy so I can take him off the order before I forget for next week. That's this one.
17.
Yeah, I've taken him off. So we now are on this guy. He's rushing forward, but he will be stepping on to the thingamabobs, caltrops, and it was a dex save, correct?
Dex 15 save, yes.
Come on.
And
12,
if he
so he takes his 1 damage and is frozen.
I have a theoretical question for you. If someone succeeds on the caltrops, can they get through the door because it's so clogged?
It would depend on the particular. The answer would be no if the door was as clogged as it currently is. So probably not is the answer. All right, and he is current. Let me put something on him to indicate he can't move for a turn, so that I know that he's got ouchers on him. And then the guy behind him, he can't see anything and can't get through the door, so he's like trying to peek over, under, around, and through, and he's getting nowhere. Rellian.
If you have another fireball, now's the time to use it. They're all grouped up.
Oh, I can't see, so
Yeah,
I'd
he
have to.
couldn't. He wouldn't be able to get it in there.
Oh, okay. So I'd have to.
Toss it here.
Pass!
I'd have to.
Touchdown!
I would need some direction
God.
from one of you guys. That's the thing. Because I can't actually see what's going
And
on
I
in the
would
room.
throw a dex on you for that, because you'd have to like bounce it off the wall to get it in there or something. It would be. You'd have to move up in front of the door to really know where you were throwing it.
I have a whole bunch of them in this doorway here.
Yeah, but the trick is to throw it so he doesn't get you.
No, I know. I'm just saying that for general knowledge so everyone knows
Wait,
there's a whole bunch here.
So because the door is so clogged, even if I walked up here, I would still have difficulty throwing it in?
Up where?
up to where Nocari and Varys are?
You would be
Even if
able to see the guys that are, let me get something, you would be able to see the guys right here in the doorway. They have filled the doorway. You wouldn't be able to see into the room. And you would be able to get them if you could figure out a way to put the fireball in such a way that it didn't come blasting down here.
Could I roll it?
I'm not going to allow that. Because it
Oh.
would just, if it's gentle enough to roll it down the corridor, it's gentle enough that it wouldn't explode on contact with the wall.
Well, hold on. You say they're all piled up over here?
No, in the
Yeah, they're all
doorway.
piled up in the doorway.
They're all piled up
So
right here in this doorway.
There's like 6 of them in the doorway right now.
This room is connected. I know that much. Well, in for a penny, in for a pound. Let's see, just for... I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to peer into the room. Oh, no,
Yep.
there's a wall. Okay.
There's a door. There's a door, and you can try to open the door.
Wait, I thought someone came out of here, though.
No, nobody has come in or gone out of that door. It is right where it was. Nobody's done anything with the door.
About that door. In that case, Relly wouldn't even care about that door. Yeah, there's really nothing Relly can do until that door is a little less clogged. Well, okay. So, you know what? Rellian is going to reach into his pocket and hold an action, and he's going to call out to his compatriots, "You might want to back up this way."
Okay, and basically we've got a problem. Okay, this guy is able, he was already frozen. He is able to now get through. He had already stepped on the caltrops. He gets through, and he is going to swipe at Varys with his scimitar.
I also think he's the only one so far that has saved from the caltrops.
Actually, he didn't save. He lost a turn. He was standing on the caltrops and lost his turn.
Okay.
But now he's moving forward. He took damage, 1 point of damage.
Okay.
But he is now,
just as a note, everyone who steps on the caltrops has their speed reduced by 10 feet.
he only moved 5.
I know, just blanket statement.
So he swung 19 for 8 slashing damage.
That'll hit.
Make sure that says 8, not 9. Yep. All right. So now we're up to this. He can. Oh yeah, he can. He's the one of the ones that also stepped on the caltrops last round. Takes 1 step forward and swings at you with a dagger. He's only got a dagger, so he's going to swipe with his dagger. I'm going to kill you. 17.
17 does not hit.
I'm going to miss. All right, the gazer is not stopped by the caltrops or by the people in the door. He goes over their heads and comes out into the hallway, and he does a ray strike at you. Let me get the 2d4 again. See what we got. We have a 2 and a 1, which means a dazing ray and a fear ray. Let's see what we've got. First, I need you to give me a DC 12 wisdom save.
Wisdom save coming up. Ooh, that's a natural 1.
And you will then do a second one for the dazing ray as well. The same thing, but this is for the other ray.
There we go.
You save. So you are now feared, and you must use your movement to get as far away from that gazer as possible. You can then, you will be able to roll again the DC 12 on your next turn. Alright, the guy behind can't get out. He's got things in the doorway, so he's stuck. Nocari, we're just about finished with tonight's action.
I am...
Varys, by the way, is now trying to get back past you down the hallway.
Haha! Ah!
So he's running this direction?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
I don't need to worry about you then.
So I don't have to try and grab Varys and run.
No, Varys will be Scooby doing it.
God. Alright, yeah. I'm...
As a matter of
So
fact,
then-
you haven't taken your movement, so you can go ahead and take it.
Yeah, since I'm out of range with
Varys
stuff, I'll just...
can take his movement, and because he will be moving away, he also will get attacks of opportunity from one kobold and one goblin. The dagger.
Am I allowed to do that even though it's not my turn?
Yeah, you haven't taken your movement for your turn. So you have to take your movement of this turn before Nocari. That missed, and then the goblin...
That's if he wants to move.
He has
Fear
to
doesn't-
move
He has
away.
to.
Yeah. He's
Okay,
frightened.
both of the attacks of opportunity missed. Take your full movement away from the gazer.
Can I give him an... Can he take... Does he provoke an attack of opportunity from me? You coward!
now it's Nocari's turn.
Alright, I'm going to start... Yeah, no, I'm not within their melee range yet, so I shouldn't get an attack of opportunity, so I'm going to just book it. Like, I'm already hurt. This sucks. I hate people. I'm gone.
All right.
So, just take the full, what is it? Do I have 30?
Yeah, you ought to.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I just forgot how much movement speed I actually had, so I should end up around here.
So before Shepard takes his action, and are you taking any other action, Nocari?
You know what? Before I do move, though, I think I will take an action. I'm just going to growl under my breath and do the one thing I enjoy doing the most. I am just going to spew acid at them.
Okay.
As soon as I can get the actual thing to go. There we are.
And it is
Dex save
Constitution.
throw.
And what is your... No, it's Yeah, saving throw equals...
Oh no, it's a Dex saving throw. DC for the saving throw equals 8 plus my con mod plus my proficiency bonus.
You've got
So,
an 11 there. Did you put it in there as 11?
I don't think so. It's been a while since I played with the spell card. I don't.
What's your con modifier?
My con modifier is a 2.
So
that's-
you're 12.
and proficiency
12.
bonus. Yeah, proficiency should be 12. I don't know why it says 11.
Dex 12 on me. And it is...
Yeah, that might be old.
5, yeah, it filled the whole hall, so all 3 of them have to make it. So we've got the Gazer Dex. He succeeds, and what happens on a success?
I think it's just half damage. Yeah, on a half save on a successful one, full 7 points of damage on a non-save.
All right, the Gazer, yeah, he's still alive. Okay, so he would have.
It's not the most impressive damage, but it's mine.
Oh yeah, Goblin Dex fails. He's dead. And the Kobold fails. He's dead.
Oh, there's no reason for me to use this fireball now.
Well, we still don't know what's coming
no,
out from
he's
behind
not.
them.
He's not. Wait a minute. A 7 damage on a failed save. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He actually the goblin is not dead. I thought it said a 16. Okay.
No, 7. Like I said, it's not the most impressive damage. It's 'cause it's 2d6 and it rolled me at 7. So
Okay. So they are all still alive, but you really injured them, and now you've taken your movement. Shepherd, you have the last movement of the night.
Eh.
sorry, had to take a moment. Did you say something to me?
Nope. I said Shepherd has the last movement
Okay.
of the night.
Okay, my apologies.
I am going to bonus action cast Healing Word at Nocari. So, Nocari, you gain 7 hit points, and then I am holding my action. That action. Oh, well, actually, I can't really do an action, so I skip my action.
Okay, and at this point, would you mind if I initiated my held action?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, so Relian just whips another bead out of his pocket. He takes aim. It looks like he's taking a free shot in a basketball game. He lobs it over Epi's head to land somewhere around here. So the blast radius would just end just short of Epi. And as he does, he just says, Kobe.
I like that. All right. Roll your damage.
That's 8d6 coming up. And that goes around corners, so the freaking dwarves in the room would still get a little bit of that too.
We're wasting
That's
these
it.
beads on freaking goblins.
Yeah. Yeah, I was,
but we're in a freaking corridor.
We're wasting these beads on goblins.
it's
Well,
a
at least it's a
big
lot
mess.
of them, because there's things, inside the room as
I
well.
know, but it's just this hurts the man.
You have no idea how much this hurts me, but he feels like he has a choice because we are severely outnumbered.
Start with the kobold, and we'll see how many points he has. 33. He has. Oh, come on. Let me
Cassian
get
is
it.
going to reimburse him for this.
Let me move.
You're going to
that.
get the stone.
He has. Yeah, he's dead because he can't save. And he can't save. And he can't. Now, these guys, however, could. So let's see how they roll. And
Now, I'm curious. I'm just moving my character to see what I actually got, but I'm just because I'm curious more than anything. Oh, okay. Not so much of a waste.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of them in that doorway.
Not so much of a waste.
And what was your DC again?
Wait, how many did you get?
15. I think I got 7 just with this one.
You know what? I'm cool with that. Yeah.
First one, he saved, and I got to take this caltrop symbol off of him so that I know that he's the one that is saved. That'll let me know. So he has saved. The second one in order right behind him will... So he took 16 damage. Let me get that off of him. And the one behind him did not save. He's down.
Okay, so we've got all that's left of this group of bandits. I think this Xanathar group is 2 severely wounded deep dwarves.
Why do they have so many fireballs?
All right.
He saved, so he takes 16. Yeah, 16. So, oh! Okay! Alright, we will go just a moment longer. He drops dead, and as he does, a white orb with gray streaks on it, bounces out of his hand and into the corridor and plops into the water.
Is this like the Palantir after the siege of Isengard? Just
Mine,
Yep.
mine.
So are we out of?
What?
So how? So wait, we're not out of combat yet.
Not quite. No, I'm going to say we'll go just a moment longer because this funny looking, I'll use this picture because it's kind of what we've got here. But I got to make it a lot smaller.
And my camera fritzed out, so I'm hoping we're not shifted on this.
stream, we're all good.
We're fine. So this orb has bounced out into, and it's the size of a large grapefruit, and it rolls out into the water and is just slightly under the water. There is no glow to it or anything else. It's just this odd white with gray streaks.
What was that?
And that is where we will leave.
Ooh, the mystery.
It's something to reimburse me, hopefully, for these fireballs, I hope.
Hey man, they came in handy and they saved people.
Magic item!
Magic item is mine. Alright. Are we
For the
ending
night,
it here?
we're ending it for the night. We'll see you next week. After all of this, what has Rellian got for us before we wave goodnight?
Bye, everybody. Remember, you can pick your friends, you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose unless you hold them down for stabbing an NPC stupidly. Varys, Epi, hold them down!
No.
Good night. It's time to leave. See you next week.